Good morning guys, and welcome back to Watches and Wonders. Once again, it is myself, Tom, behind the camera. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. It really does help the channel out. And today in front of us we have the Addiesdive MY-H5, also known as the Tuna Can. So, I've had this watch now for a couple of months. It's been quite a regular wearer. It has quickly become one of my favourite watches. Not quite there yet, but it has quickly become definitely a regular wearer. On the wrist today, I have my Heimdall monster, or Sharky monster. But let's get in to this absolute beast of a watch. So, movement. We'll get on with movement straight away, with it being the easiest section because it is quite standard now with the movement. And we have in this watch the MY-H5, which is the date movement from Seiko. It is a 21,600 beats per hour at 3 Hz, 24 joule movement with a 41-hour power reserve. Very, very quick and standard stuff. I know you've probably heard that hundreds and hundreds of times on other YouTube videos, along with a fair few times on my videos. It is an industry standard movement for these watches, but that's because it is an absolute beast of a movement. So, dimensions of this watch. This is where it gets a little bit weird, to be honest. So what we have is, from corner to corner, we have a 44mm case, so it is quite a big watch. That is excluding the crown. But then we go down a millimetre for its lug to lug. So this will actually fit quite nicely on a lot of people's wrists. So if we have a look at that side part in there, it does actually come from underneath the case to drop down. So this does, I've got a very, very, very small wrist, but this does fit weirdly very, very nicely. So it is a very, very nice fitting watch. So a 44mm case, we have 43 lug to lug, and it is 15mm thick, so it isn't thin. It's not something that you'd probably tuck underneath a suit, let's just state that. And we have a 22mm strap tapering down to nothing. We're going straight, completely and utterly straight, 22mm top to bottom. And then when we get to the bottom of the clasp, we have a stamped clasp, which I'm sure you all know my opinions on. Personally, not a fan of a stamped clasp, do prefer a milled clasp, but I'm pretty sure when I tell you the price of this watch, you will all understand why it is. Probably they do have to save money in certain ways, so, but I'm sure we will get to that at the end. And with no links removed, this watch weighs in at 203 grams. So like I was saying earlier, it is not a small watch. It is not a light watch. It is definitely something that has a lot of wrist presence, and you definitely know it's on your wrist. So let's have a look at the finish of this watch then. So, side view. It is beautifully brushed, all heading in the same direction, going all the way around the case. On top we have a mixture of brushed and polished, going around the chamfers for the bezel. We have a stamped and, oh, let's see if I can actually get my directions right. We have a stamped crown, which is also screw down. And as we get to the bracelet, you can see it's brushed all the way down with polishing on the side. Apologies, like I say, this watch has been worn very often by me recently, so there is a little bit of a few scratches, a few scrapes and stuff like that. But what's the point in having a watch if you're not going to wear it? That's the way I see it. It is made completely of 316L stainless steel. And we have, covering this beautifully blue sunburst dial, we have a beautifully done and awesome AR coated sapphire crystal. This thing is very, very legible no matter what. Even if I spin it over to the lights in the room towards the window, it is perfectly visible 24/7, and you get that beautiful AR coating, blue AR coating, just as the light bounces on it. Stunning, stunning, stunning looking watch. So it is a double domed sapphire crystal with a blue AR coating. As I stated earlier, we have a screw down stamped crown and a screw down case back with the Addiesdive stamp on it. I know some people love it, some people hate it. Personally, I don't mind it. I think it has a place, and when it comes to like a dive watch like this, with it being a diver emblem, I believe it's found its place. We have a 120 unidirectional ceramic bezel. Let's see if we can get some of these clicks in as I get it just close to my speaker. So that works absolutely beautifully. Now I've got gloves on and I'm still able to spin this when I can actually get my fingers correct, which just goes to prove just how nice and grippy this actual bezel is. And look at that. Perfectly realigns itself. Something Seiko need to get on with is their quality control issues at the moment. Whereas Addiesdive, I have not had a single Addiesdive I've had a problem with. Now, I know that their main competition is currently Steel Dive. And from my experiences with Steel Dive, what I have found is they're not very good at lining stuff up. Now, that doesn't look too bad from here. As I put it in front of the camera, you will see it is quite badly out of line. I will be reviewing this watch soon. Sorry, Steel Dive, I don't think you're going to like me afterwards. But they'll get over it. That's the good thing about it. So we have a ceramic bezel, which has BGW9 filled loom. As we look at the face, we have a, where they've switched it over. Some people don't like this, I actually really like the contrast. And we have a C3 loom underneath, on the face of the watch. And now this is the big part about it. I'm sure, as you can see on the dial, 300 meters. Now, have these ever been tested to 300 meters? I've never found a video where someone has, and I'm pretty sure Addiesdive don't take all of their watches down 300 meters to double check. But for all I know, I could be wrong. So it is claiming a 300 meter water resistance, which, like I say, I'm a little bit skeptical on. It's got everything that it would need to do 300. It's got some decent washers. It's got everything in the back that it needs to. The washers in the back to keep it water sealed on the screw down crown. Absolutely fine. Everything goes together absolutely fine. Would it do 100 meters? Absolutely all day long. 100%. 200? Yeah, quite possibly. 300, I'm a little bit dubious of. I really am. But this watch in general is absolutely fantastic. Now let's get on to pricing. So this is homaging the Seiko Tuna. And then watches nowadays you can pick up for about 500, 600 quid. They are discontinued, I believe. And they come with Seiko's Hardlex crystal on them. Not a solid bracelet, whereas this is a solid link all the way down to the bottom bracelet, and I believe they've executed it absolutely beautifully. This cost me, and this is where I believe I can't get too annoyed about the stamped clasp. This cost me 50 quid. All this watch, and it is not a small watch. All of that for 50 quid. And I don't think there is another watch out there, including the Steel Dive 1970. I don't believe there's another watch out there that is built quite as well as this for the price. I know there are a lot of watches out there that are very good watches, but for under 60 quid, I think this thing is absolutely awesome. Now, do check around. I have seen these going up in price slowly, but I do know when a sale hits, these drop anywhere between 50 and 60 quid. So please do keep an eye out, because this is a watch that I can promise you right now, you will not regret buying. Now, if you give me a second, I will finish this video off with a wrist and loom shot. So give me 1 second and I'll be back with you. And here we are, guys. I apologise for how steady this is and for the marks that glove has made on my hand. But there she is, fully loomed up. Absolutely stunning. But right, thank you guys for watching. I really do appreciate it. Like I said, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. This has been Tom with Watches and Wonders, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.